We've mentioned that pressing the Enter key actually denotes a new paragraph, not just a new line. Question is, how do we know that? Well, a lot of it has to do with how Word works, which is what we're doing now, learning how that actually works. But we can actually see paragraph and other marks as well by enabling Word's Show Hide feature. I've opened the You Got It business plan document from the Chapter 3 Project Files folder for us to work with. Displaying the non-printing characters is a simple toggle, meaning it's either on or it's off, and it can be accessed from the Home tab, from the paragraph group, and it's this little option that looks like the little paragraph mark. So we'll go ahead and give that a click to turn it on. There's also a keyboard shortcut that we can use, and that is Control-Shift*, and the asterisk is your number 8 key. What we can see if we start looking at this page is that it is showing us the characters for the paragraphs. Right now, this is the one that we're most interested in. We can see these right at the top of the page. Now remember though, we didn't actually press Enter to add our title. We actually used Click and Type. But I also told you that Click and Type does exactly the same thing with fewer keystrokes, and we can actually see that now. I'm going to scroll down a little bit using my mouse, and we can see that we have, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 different hard returns or paragraph marks, and then we have Strategy for Organizational Success. We could have accomplished the same thing by doing Enter, Enter, Enter until we got to the page space that we wanted, and then beginning to type. The other thing that we can see if we look very carefully between the words is kind of a vertically aligned dot. This represents a space, and this can be really useful if you're trying to figure out why your alignment doesn't work. Maybe somebody held down their space bar to get something to the middle of the page, and that's why the alignment isn't working. So hard returns or paragraphs and spaces are a couple of things that we use a lot. Now I'm just going to go ahead and click after You Got It Training Company, and I'm going to press my Tab key because I wanted to show you one more of the non-printing characters that's really important to know. As soon as I press Tab, you can see that character. It happens to be a right-pointing arrow. That mark is going to become really important when we talk about things like tabs, which have to do with paragraphs, and even when we start working with bulleted and numbered lists. There are a few more characters that we don't see here because we simply don't have them in our document yet. For example, there are some that are used specifically with tables. But we won't worry about those yet. There's more to come later on. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit more, a little bit further on the page till we get about to the bottom of the page, because we want to look at one last mark right now. And the first one that we see is after our P.O. Box 1234, and it looks like kind of a little reversing arrow. This is really important because this is different than a paragraph mark. We created these when we held down the Shift key while we pressed Enter when we originally created the title page. It created a line break. If we looked at this without these non-printing characters, it would look like a line break. As a matter of fact, it might even look like it's a new paragraph, but it's not. It's called a soft return, and it's important because we're going to see throughout this chapter, and in the chapter on styles, and even the lesson on lists, that soft returns versus hard returns, or paragraphs versus these line breaks, are different, even though visually they may look very similar. While text that follows a soft returns looks like it's its own paragraph, it is not. It retains all of the paragraph formatting of the entire paragraph. Now, if you happen to be a former WordPerfect user, these things are the equivalent of reveal codes, which you're probably used to. Word does not have reveal codes, but it does have revealing non-printing characters and a few other little things that we'll be showing you throughout the rest of the series that will help you if you're used to that particular feature. All of this is important to know because many of our formatting features apply to paragraphs, not characters. That paragraph mark actually contains the codes that determine everything about the paragraph. Generally speaking, when we press Enter, the paragraph that follows will take on or copy the formatting of the previous paragraph. That's important to know as we work. Now that we've seen them though, let's go ahead and turn off those marks since they kind of clutter up the document. But please remember that they are there in the background, and this is what we are generating when we press things like the Enter key, the space bar, and even the Tab key as well. I'm going to go ahead and use the keyboard shortcut to turn these off, which is Control-Shift*. Paragraphs, which we now know is all of the content between those paragraph marks, are treated as blocks of text. They have their own identity and characteristics that are different than the characteristics of fonts or characters. When we set paragraph features, because they apply to the entire paragraph, we do not need to select the content before we make the changes. Remember that when we do font formatting, we do have to make a selection first. We just need to click in the paragraph for paragraph formatting, somewhere in the paragraph. And of course, if we want to apply it to more than one paragraph, then we would have to select it so Word knows to apply it to more than one paragraph. Now what I want to do before we move any further is I want you to watch me select a couple of things. I'm going to click and drag over P.O. Box 1234. You'll see that when I get to the end, it looks like it includes a space. The same thing happens if I scroll up a little bit, back to our You Got It training company, and drag all the way to the end. I am able to click and drag and not include that little space if I end after the Y. Now, it can be really tricky because right here with the mouse, it wants to include that extra space. I'm going to deselect the space by holding Shift and pressing my left arrow key. Now, you may be saying, why are we worrying about being this picky? The answer is that this, and I'm going to add it back in, is not a space. That is actually the paragraph mark. If I turn on the non-printing characters again, you can see the difference that's kind of hard to tell when we're not looking at them. When you include something that looks like a space, you're including the paragraph mark. When you don't, then of course you're not. Including the paragraph marks brings with it all of the info that that mark contains. With the latest Smart Paste feature, this isn't nearly as important as it used to be, but it is important that we realize what looks like an extra space probably isn't. It's that paragraph mark. Now let's get to